What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Outcrowd podcast, episode number 167. Everybody always told us our opinions wouldn't matter, and as it turns out, Darth Vader, you were right. What's going on? I'm Quack.
Hi, Jared.
Hello, I am Schmulty. You can see my face this episode.
Hey, Schmulty.
Konnichiwa. Kawaii desu.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, so I think the NBA is kind of just dead in the water at the moment. I feel like it was really electric to watch there for when Durant and those guys were at Kansas City or OKC.
LeBron's Heat.
Miami, and and then there was the whole team. The Spurs was still really good, and it seemed like the Celtics were still good, and now it's everybody's chasing. Mm-hmm. So now it's just like, oh wow, cool. There's two dominant teams, and everybody else is just a bunch of rookies.
But yeah, it went from that, like when LeBron was with the Heat, that's when I was super into basketball, and then like not too long after that, it was just Golden State every year. And I think that's when it got boring. Because it was like, oh, Golden State again.
I don't think you're going to have two teams that everyone's chasing this year. Like fucking Milwaukee just loaded up. Philly's doing some things.
Who's Milwaukee got?
Well, they've got Giannis, but then they added like Drew Holiday and like two other, like, it's a fucking setup, dude. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The NBA, it was the least watched NBA finals in NBA history. And I think that that's not a fluke. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's real. Because I haven't cared to watch the NBA for about 2 years at all.
Yeah, I haven't really either. I got discouraged, though, when Rose got injured for the 58th time.
That poor guy.
I know.
That poor guy.
He's so fucking good, too.
Traded.
L's on L's, bro. Yeah, and then he got traded. And I cared even less.
Yeah.
He still has his good games and shit, but yeah, that sucked.
What are we going to talk about today? You have anything loaded?
Locked and loaded.
We're talking to you.
And we're back. Hey.
Stolen.
Oh, it's Headface.
I had something I was about to bring up, but then I got distracted making sure everything was running. I don't like not being able to see that screen.
Which screen?
This one.
I can see it.
Hasn't it always been there?
Yes.
Yeah. I used to have two screens, though. One was like here, so I could just meh.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching The Mandalorian? I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
I haven't.
I was waiting to have like 4 episodes or so to bust into.
Same.
I meant to watch it last weekend and catch up on all 3, and then I forgot.
Yeah, I also started watching American Horror Story season 9, so...
Yeah, I saw that was on Netflix. I want to start watching that too.
It's interesting. It's an interesting season.
I've got a dirty secret. I've started watching this show called A Teacher on Hulu.
Like...
It's about this...
porn? Or...
No. It's on Hulu. It's about this teacher lady that's like cheating on her husband and having an affair with one of her students.
Okay. Still a porn.
Yes. I mean, you don't see any like penetration or nothing. You know.
Oh, that's pretty tame.
But it's like stupid, but I can't stop watching it. I'm just hoping for a nipple or something. I think that's what I'm hanging on.
Yeah.
Just add nipple.
So this isn't like a documentary. It's just like a show.
It's a show.
It's just a show.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 4 episodes out right now.
They're releasing it week by week?
Yeah.
I didn't know that Hulu did that.
Is it like pretty good or just,
yeah.
you're just like into it?
Yeah. It's not my kind of show, but I'm digging it. And the teacher's hot.
Fair enough.
Like, I always fantasized about banging my English teacher back in the day. So
I had a hot English teacher
Hits
too. When I was
home.
pretty young. Well, not pretty young, like right before high school or like 9th grade. She was pretty hot.
I had a hot foods teacher.
I had a hot foods teacher too. Like 7th grade English, really hot English teacher. Nothing really in 8th grade, but 9th grade, hot English teacher. She was the cheerleaders coach. So like cheerleaders would come running in every once in a while. I was like, this is the fucking place to be. I love this class. And then they would practice, like cheerleading practice would happen in my gym period. So they, like if we were running track, they'd be down there, or then they would go up and run track. It was a good time to be alive in 9th grade or 10th grade or whatever it was.
That is fortunate.
And then my food teacher was hot too. My computer tech teacher was really hot too.
Really? That's an interesting one, actually.
I don't think she was computer tech. I think she was a computer teacher, but I think I was in the yearbook class. I was in yearbook doing, like pictures and shit, but there wasn't much to do, so I was always just playing video games. She was really fucking hot.
Well, I had one that I wanted to bang. My English teacher.
Your English teacher as well?
My English teacher, that was it.
English teachers. I didn't really have...
And she was only like 22.
That's how my foods teacher was, bro. It was like her first year.
Yeah. I was like, so hot. Do you need me to stay after class?
Yeah. Do you need any help?
Yeah.
The thing that always bugs me is in movies or TV shows when someone asks, like, hey, what about you? Tell me about you. And they're like, well, my 5th grade teacher was Mrs. Blah. It's like, dude, I don't remember. I remember like maybe one of my teachers, if I try.
From elementary?
I don't remember. Like, it's high school. I maybe a high school teacher, I might remember their name.
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember an elementary school teacher's name.
Same. I used to, but like I actually can't even think of one now. I can see their faces still.
I can't, but in fairness, that was like 27 fucking years ago.
Yeah, it's a little longer for you.
But that's the thing is, like in these movies and TV shows, they're like, your age or my age, and they're like, oh, what was your teacher? And they just know it. It's like,
I remember my kindergarten year.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember their names.
Yeah.
I mean, you only remember it for a year, and then it's fucking someone new. And then you get it too high up, and then you got like 6 teachers in a fucking year. I don't fucking remember them people. I just wanted it out.
Same. This house is a fucking prison.
Yeah. Planet bullshit. The galaxy of this sucks camel dicks.
That was me every day.
Great movie.
Great movie. Yeah, fucking movie. Yeah, American Horror Story Season 9's okay. It's like, there's some twists and turns,
What's
but
the premise like?
college kids at a summer camp.
Okay.
Hey, college kids.
Serial killer, that kind of thing. So,
College
it's been
kids.
interesting. There's some dumb moments, for sure, that I've been like, what the fuck is going on? But,
Well, they also don't have 2 of the main reasons to watch that show.
yeah.
Sarah Paulson and
Evan Peters.
Evan Peters.
Really?
Neither of them are in it.
Wow.
That's why I didn't watch it really when it was on air, but now it's on Netflix, so it's like, fuck, might as well. So, yeah. It's okay. Like, I'd probably be super into it if they were in it, to be fair. But, yeah, no. It's all right.
Zag's trying to convince me to watch Archer.
Archer's fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, he's got nothing but good to say about it. I don't know.
That's such a good fucking show.
That's so funny.
This is how we get ants. The running gags in that show are fucking great.
Spot on, dude. Yeah, I still need to watch the latest season on Hulu.
Phrasing.
Are we still doing phrasing?
I lost touch on that show because it started to get really weird.
It got like super meta.
Yeah.
It was still good though. Do you mean like Archer's Dreamland or the island?
All of it.
Yeah, like pretty much.
They just started going crazy. They had like a staple, we are this, and then all of a sudden it was like some alternate universe, and then some alternate universe, and then like some alternate universe. It was like, I just want to get back to the glory days. Let's just go back to being fucking your company.
Yeah, it did get pretty weird. It's still fun.
It's a great show. How far have you gotten in Rick and Morty?
I haven't touched it in a while.
Also a great show.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. I'm all over the place right now.
You need to bust that out.
I'm back into watching Beyond Scared Straight. I'm back.
Nice.
Well, I started watching that
Like
show.
documentary-based stuff.
We were talking about it on that last Saturday. I started watching that show. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Netflix called I Am a Murderer on Netflix.
I Am a Killer.
I Am a Killer. That's what it is. It's like the documentary where they
it's
just talk
pretty
to the people that are in prison and get the story, and then they show the cop side, and that show's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that does look crazy.
It's a trip to watch. It's the second episode, especially. I was like, "Fuck me!" I think that's as far as I've gotten is the second episode.
And then you couldn't handle it.
I just stopped watching it. I think I finished that one, and then it was bedtime, and then I haven't gone back because every time I think about watching it, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I should watch that." And I'm like, "But maybe I don't want to watch something where I want to die. Like, have to hear these terrible fucking human stories."
Right.
We started watching this one called I Was a Child Bride.
About polygamy.
No. Underage girls that are married off. Like they're
Where?
raped and taken advantage of. Hulu.
No, like, where is this taking place? The story, the documentary.
It's from like 9 different points of view. Like
Oh.
the stories from people that have experienced it. That's pretty cool. It's fucked up.
Sounds fucked up.
Really fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's like they were saying something like, what was it, last year or year before? An estimated 244,000 underage children were married off.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm into shows like that right now. So, like Rick and Morty is back here.
Fair enough.
Everything else is back here at the moment.
I can't bounce around, dude. I start watching a show and that's my show. Because the only time I watch is like I'm done gaming / streaming, and then I want to like lay down and go to bed. And I'm always like, all right, I'll watch one episode. And if I get really into it, I'll be like, okay, one more episode. But
And then next thing you know, it's 8 a.m. and I'm knocking on your door. Hey,
yeah,
people are here for the pod.
that's how it was for a while. But I've been getting better at it. Like, or at least I wake up. Like, I watched American Horror Story till like almost 3 the other night because it was getting really good. And then I just woke up in the morning, so that's been better. But yeah, I can't bounce around. Like, I'm too loyal. I sit down and I'm like, I gotta watch my episode.
My one constant is Lucifer. Like, I'm working on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Lucifer is good.
Quality show.
That's a fun show.
It's a genius fucking idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
The devil has a therapist
I looked into.
and their version of hell.
Yeah, I watched a video on the backstory on it, and it was like it's a really old book, like a book that was a take on Lucifer that was not even close to the show. But then off of the show came another story about Lucifer, and then like off of that story came the comic story that became Lucifer Morningstar, and then that comic story is what is based on, is what this show is based on. But this show has changed it a lot from that, because you know the CW shows, Arrow and all those, you know, they're all based on comics and blah blah blah. Well, they have Constantine is a DC character who's tied in with Arrow and all those guys.
Constantine?
Yeah, Constantine. Like the movie that you watch is based on a comic book, and
A DC comic? Mm-hmm. Wow.
you should know that fans of the comic book Constantine really hate that movie.
And I
Of course.
I haven't seen the comics, but I could
It's just very different.
I could believe that.
Yeah, like if you've seen there was a show called Constantine that was the same character. He's British, number one. Number two, he's blonde. And number three, he looks like Castiel. He's always
he's a
wearing a
trench coat.
brown, overcoat and like part of a suit kind of thing. So
Classy.
the movie was good, but like diehard fans didn't really care for it. But anyway, so that character is tied in, and since Lucifer is part of that world, I can't remember which one it was. One of the last big crossovers they did with, Arrow and Flash and blah, 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 all of those. There was actually a piece in that where Constantine goes to Lucifer and he needs to get to Purgatory. And so it's Lucifer Morningstar. It's that guy, that actor. It's just
really?
It wasn't on Lucifer. It was on the CW stuff.
Right.
And they're like, we need to get to Purgatory. And he hands him a card, and there's a hot chick there, So of course he does his Lucifer thing, and then the Diggs from Arrow, the black guy that is Arrow's best friend, he looks at him and he's like, "You remind me of my brother, tall, dark and handsome," and looks at me with such anger or disdain or something like that. And then that was it.
That's cool.
CW stuff.
Well, and that show was on Fox, so it was pretty interesting that they were actually able to pull that off.
Because David is here.
Cash's son likes to watch The Flash. Like, that's his addiction right now.
Nice.
And I think that show is so fucking stupid.
Wait, which show?
The Flash or whatever.
Flash is very kid friendly.
Yeah, it just seems hokey. Like, I don't know, there's just something different about it. It just has a corny vibe. Like,
yeah, it's a corny kind of younger.
Like when my thoughts on The Witcher, how it was kind of corny and hokey to me, it's like that.
The Flash, I think, is kind of corny and younger, because if you compare it to Arrow, like Arrow was very dark and like he fucked people up.
Yeah.
But he's like very team friendly and it's more lighthearted kind of funness, which I think is kind of true to the character.
Yeah. So he watches The Flash and the show called Riverdale.
I've never watched that show, but I've seen all the memes and shit.
Oh my god. Fuck.
I would say it's because of the memes that I just am like, I can't even click on one episode because I know I'll hate myself after doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
High school love stories and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Murder plots. And they're in high school.
It's like, murder plots. It's like 90210, but a weird take on it for the newer generation of fantasy people.
Yeah.
Because I remember 90210 was like the fucking rage when I was in high school. Like, I remember, I'm pretty sure everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people were watching that. And I was like, I remember watching a few episodes and the drama was like so intense. I was like, oh my god, and shit would just fucking come out of left field. Like, there'd be these two, I remember this forever, because the main chick, I thought she was, or not the main chick, but one of the chicks was super fucking hot. And I was super into her, and she was dating this guy, was on like a football team or whatever, and then he broke up with her because she was kind of acting crazy, which was manufactured drama anyway. And I was like, oh no, the chick I like. Oh, no. And then it like, an episode later, she's like going fucking crazy, like crying and just insane. And then like that episode, she's diagnosed with like the extreme version of fucking bipolar. And she's like crazy. And I'm like, this shit, like half of this, like the rest, like she's been in this show for 6 seasons and she's been fine. But this fucking happens and now she's like chronic crazy bipolar.
Which show are we talking about?
It was like 90210 back when I was in high school.
Right.
Yeah. When you're like, because at one point we didn't have TV at home. We were switching from someone to someone, and there was like a month gap before they could come install. So we just had basic channel. It was like 30 channels or whatever, and channel 30 was CW. So I'd be surfing, and there wasn't SpongeBob, and there wasn't, so I get all the way to 30, and I'm like, ooh, 90210, this show is popping. Everyone's watching this. And I watched a few episodes, and I was like, I was like, the mind fuck this show does on you is insane.
That's how them teen dramas are, bro. I watched a little bit of Riverdale. Riverdale? I think it's Riverdale.
Yeah.
That's what we were just talking about.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing. Just like a bunch of fucking crazy
so
shit.
Dumb. It's so dumb.
What is this?
So he watches The Flash and Riverdale, and her daughter, Friends is life. Like,
oh, Friends is dope.
Friends t-shirt, shoes. It's always on the TV. I'm like,
good choice.
Haven't you seen this entire thing like 6 times? She's like, yes, but it's so good. I'm like, no, it's not. We're missing Sports Center right now.
I think Friends is phenomenal.
Friends is one of those shows where you either love it or like you fucking hate it and think it's awful. At least that's what I've observed.
I'm
People
pretty
are either
neutral
like,
on it.
why do people like Friends? It's the worst show ever made. It's not even a little bit funny. Or they're like, Friends is the fucking best. I've watched it 18 times. And there's like no in between. It's just that.
I'm neutral on it. I get some giggles out of it, but most of the time I'm like, this is so stupid. We're missing Sports Center for this.
I fucking love Friends.
It's funny. There's good moments for sure.
But the funny thing is, so Lucifer, you remember the first episode where he helped that really, young chick become a star, and then she dies? She's from 90210.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I recognized her instantly. I turned on Lucifer, and I was like, she's from that fucking show that I watched a few episodes of and maybe wanted to kill myself.
The detective chick?
The main the chick that he made a star, and then she's like in his club and he's helping her out, and then she leaves and then gets shot up, and then that's when he first like gets into it. She's from 90210.
Wow.
I recognize her.
Wow.
I was like, hey, I fucking know that chick. She's from that one show.
Damn, that's when Amenadiel was still a badass, bro.
Yeah, he turned into a pussy.
Yeah, he does. He's still cool. I like him, but
Yeah, he's dope.
He was a fucking badass in the beginning, bro.
I thought when
This guy's sick.
when Father God came into the picture, I thought that was brilliant how they did that. The actor, I don't know his name, but
Allstate.
he's kind of
guy.
no. Wait,
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Lucifer. Season.
Oh, I know what you're talking
season
about.
Like late season 2, early season 3.
it's when they're looking for
Father comes down.
Are you talking about when they're looking for the parts for the sword?
Yeah.
And the guy has the buckle or
Azrael's
whatever.
blade, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That guy is super cool. That episode is awesome.
And Father's like kind of clueless.
That
And he's
episode-
running the fucking thing. He's just kind of clueless. He's hanging out, going to jail and shit, just like looking at the artwork on the walls. And
that episode is really cool. And then they need to break out, so they like start a riot. And it
Yeah.
goes like slow mo as they're walking through, as people are like throwing underwear, and there's a fucking bin on fire, and they're just like slow walking their way out. That was a really cool episode.
oh, super
I
good.
forgot about that episode.
But Father's like basically kind of clueless
And Lucifer's fucking pissed at him, and he's like, "Why?"
until he sees Heavenly Mother, and then he's like reunited.
Yeah, that is a good episode.
I think that show was genius.
I think it's really good.
It's
Yeah,
solid.
that's why when Colton told me to get into it, I was like, I don't know. I was like,
It's worth it, dog.
yeah, I was like, it seems like a show that would be kind of interesting, but I don't know that I can, like watch another network TV show, because I was already, I already watched like Arrow and all those Flash ones and shit to keep up with, the DC universe, and then Supernatural, and I was like, I don't know if I can do another network TV show. But then I started watching it, and it's fucking great.
You get your money's worth. There's like fucking 18 episodes a season.
Until it gets to Netflix. Once Netflix takes over, it's only 10.
Yeah.
But the Netflix seasons are better.
Yep.
It's fascinating. That show is a comedy. Like, it's funny, and Lucifer's hilarious. But, like, I don't know, Judeo-Christian mythology is super interesting, too. There's a lot to play with the angels and shit.
And I like that. Like, Uriel comes down, and I just think it's super interesting.
It is. It's cool. There's something else that... I guess Supernatural. I guess I'm thinking of Supernatural when they deal with that same mythology. It's cool. If you do it right, you make it really interesting.
Like their version of hell, where it's like your own little...
The door's
Guilt
unlocked.
keeps you there.
You can literally get yourself out, but you just can't get past it.
That stems from like Egyptian mythology. The god of, I can't remember the god of the underworld. It's not Anubis. It's a different one. I think. You judge yourself, like you send yourself to hell. If you have too much guilt, then that's when you go.
Yep.
It's in Supernatural.
Yeah, that's right.
Who is?
Anubis, like weighing you, in Supernatural lore, when God and the angels took over, like they were just way more powerful, but they kind of employ other gods and other things, and Anubis is one of them, and he's one of the ones that helps determine if you're going to heaven and hell. And there's an episode with I can't remember who it is, like some random lady or hunter or something like that knows she's going to hell, so she's doing crazy things to keep herself alive. And then they find a way to bring Anubis there, and he like weighs it to see if she's going to heaven or hell. And it's based on your guilt. In the story for the comics, I think on some of Lucifer, at one point he rebels and he is not in control of hell anymore. Like he just completely gives it up, and the other angels take it over. And the angels take it over, and they're like, it's not going to be punishment for punishment. It's going to be punishment for like to make you better, and it'll be, inflicted in a way, and the people that are in hell like say this is worse.
Yeah.
This is fucking worse because you're doing it in a way that, like it's not just punishment to be punished, it's punishment based on us and to make us better. They're like, it's way worse. But he leaves hell, and then he like goes to another universe that's just like completely nothing, and he wants to just be alone, and God finds him, and God offers him to like become one with him so that they are the same person, and they can kind of share each other's whatever. And Lucifer's like, no, I am me, you are you, I don't ever want to see you again. And he eventually goes to a universe that's just nothing, and he fades off and just becomes nothing. He just ends himself. He's like, I'm done.
That's pretty dark.
Yeah. He's like, I'm done here. I'm just going to a universe that's completely full of nothing. And he fades off, and eventually he's just scattered across nothing. Pretty interesting.
What's going on in the movie world? So The Rock just wrapped up a movie.
I think there's a couple people that wrapped up a movie. I know like the latest Ryan Reynolds movie just wrapped.
Yeah?
It's wraps.
And I heard that...
Have you seen his, what's that, Mint Mobile? Is that the phone company he owns?
I don't know.
I think it's called Mint Mobile. He's got a commercial that's pretty fucking funny where he talks shit on, like, phone companies. Well, it's almost the holiday season, so, it's phone promo time, and he starts just trashing all over everything.
That's funny.
I haven't seen any of that. I did see that because HBO has such a big thing going on with DC right now, Wonder Woman 1974 or whatever it is might debut on HBO.
Really?
Because like HBO is where all the DC stuff is right now, and that's where the Snyder Cut is coming out, so they must have some partnership going on.
Maybe, yeah.
So I think they're thinking about debuting it on HBO.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the Snyder Cut. I want to see what he does with it.
Yeah.
Because Justice League was ass.
Yeah.
But, like, I want it to be good, So I'm like, maybe he'll make it good.
Red Notice is what The Rock just wrapped up. Whatever
Red
that is.
Notice. I don't know what the fuck that is. Probably some action movie where he has to save his daughter and he's a retired Marine or something.
So, like, the same as, like...
All of his other action movies.
Did you see what someone posted in our Discord that I thought was funny? Because we talked about that last pod, I think, where we were talking about, the big tough guys do movies where they're taking care of a kid or whatever, and it's just like the same fucking movie all the time. And they posted one that was secret agent cop spy guy who is funny in theaters every summer until he is like 60 or something. It has 3 pictures of The Rock on it. Like, yeah, that's pretty much every one of their movies. Like,
it sounds pretty close. Yep.
I was gonna ask you, Colton, did you finish Dark Horror's Little Hope?
Yeah, we beat that like day one, dude.
Did I fucking say that right?
No. Dark Pictures Anthology.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Little Hope, you said right, though. Yeah, we finished that like the night it came out.
So, like, no spoilers, what'd you think?
Well, it's up on Super and Grizz. I did the prologue on my channel, so you can watch all of it. But I don't know. I enjoyed the experience. Like, it was fun, but the way that they handled like whether or not characters live or die really pissed me off. Because instead of it being like the choices you make in the story can affect how things happen, it was more like you have to say the right things with each individual relationship so that like you unlock skill points, or not skill points, but just like traits or something, and that's what keeps them alive. And then it just felt like the overarching story didn't matter. Yeah, in a way. But
so anybody who wants to not have it spoiled, or I'm going to start spoiling it now. Jared, do you remember Until Dawn when people were going all about that? Like a video game where you could see the tree of all the decisions you could make, and there was like 6 characters, and you had to keep them alive. And there's like things you could do to kill them or get them killed.
I remember seeing things about it. I never took part in it.
Yeah. So they've made like 3 games now. There was Until Dawn, Man of Medan, and then this one.
Yeah.
And like Until Dawn I thought was really cool. Like there was something there. Like you were running away from monsters that were trying to kill you, and it was pretty interesting.
There's also Wendigos, which are cool.
Yeah. But I didn't play this newest one, but I watched Tio and Flash play it. And they got 95% of the way through, and then they couldn't finish it. Because there was a game there's a game destroying glitch.
Really?
That they couldn't get past. It took them like 8 hours, and it was because there was a glitch that kept happening, so they'd have to keep going back and forth. It took them forever, and they got 95%, and that was just uncompletable. And so like last week, instead of even trying to finish it, they just watched YouTube videos on what happened at the end. Mm-hmm. And all I have to say is you start with like 6 characters, right? 6? 5? 5 characters?
No, 6.
6? It's 6 characters, and it's supposed to be the same kind of thing, like keep them alive till the end. I thought it was the dumbest fucking game I've ever seen.
Oh, it is fun.
Like, stuff didn't make sense. Like, at one point, you're with 2 characters.
Is it a survival game or something?
It's a
like
movie.
A story game where you control the decisions made.
Yeah, it's like you're watching a movie, but you can control how they talk, and then there's like quick time events.
Yeah, it's a movie game.
But like there were so many things that didn't make sense, because at one point there's 2 characters that look out over a pond, and you see a creature pop out of the pond that looks kind of like a Wendigo or whatever. It pops out of the pond, and it's really scary, and then it cuts back to the characters after the cutscene, and there's like just fucking wander off. Like no one's like whoa, no one's like oh my god, no one fucking cared.
I think they did that to like build suspense. Like the characters don't know, only you saw this. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it didn't even matter, because ultimately you have all these characters, and if you keep them all alive and you get to the end, the big reveal is that nothing mattered. Nothing.
Yeah,
they could have all died, and they were all in one guy's head who wouldn't be able to die because he had to make it. That he didn't ever have a chance to die. He gets to the end of the story, and it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Any person that died didn't matter. There was nothing in this entire game that mattered, because this guy gets to the end, and then he goes from being a 20-year-old to being like 50-something, and he's old, and he's like, oh, that was all in my head. I wish I could have saved you all. But
that twist was kind of cool, because we kept asking like the whole time. We were like, where's the bus driver? The bus driver's going to show up, right? And like there's like one of those pictures you find, and it shows the bus driver and someone's holding a gun to their head. So like that kind of threw me off, and I was like, we're going to find him, right? So that aspect, like singular aspect, I thought was a really cool twist. But yeah, it made me feel like nothing mattered. And everybody fucking died. Everyone died except for one person, because we didn't like farm relationships correctly. We were so focused on like, I don't know, like the story of the Salem and everything going on there. And I feel like we got the good ending of that part, but I didn't realize we had to just like make sure we talked to everyone correctly with every single character, or they all died. And then even when they all died, it doesn't matter. Nothing's real. It's all in his head. So it was like kind of unsatisfying. Yeah, like nothing mattered. But then it's made to be played 2-player. But playing 2-player, there's a whole thing that you don't get to play. You know, when What's-Her-Face goes down in the sewers and she runs away? That's unplayable with 2 players. Yeah, you have to play it again. And then Until Dawn, when like 2 characters, like the 2 that were dating, were walking
there was always commentary, like a movie, like oh blah blah blah, oh blah blah blah, oh blah blah blah. Oh, they're just constantly talking. So they were moving along the relationship and the story. But in this one, there was like 15 minutes stretches where you were walking as these two characters that were dating, and they wouldn't say a thing. So like if it wasn't for Tio and Flash being there talking to each other, like all they were doing was complaining about them not saying anything. But it was like if you're playing this by yourself, you're just walking. There's no like this game is unfinished.
Yeah.
And then nothing mattered. And it was just, and then, so like the whole point to the story is this guy, his family died, which I don't really understand how the story worked. His adopted family died. They were all like adopted. And then he becomes crazy, right? Becomes a bus driver. Then he drives through the town where his family died. So he gets a little crazier, like he's remembering. He manifests these people. They go through the town trying to get their way out. But then he's manifesting his family, not only with him there, but he's manifesting his family in Salem witch trials because he was reading a Salem witch trials book. Mm-hmm. So this whole Salem witch trials thing that you keep getting forced back in time to make decisions that matter. But his family's there, but they're not really there. So this guy is doubly crazy. He's doubly crazy imagining things that don't matter. And then it turns out that the girl isn't crazy. She's not the one doing it. But at the beginning of the movie, she was the one doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
That was pretty obvious.
I'm so glad I didn't fucking pay $40 for this shit. Because nothing makes sense. So the girl's evil in the beginning. And the only reason that's in there is to make you think that she's evil later in the game. They're setting you up for failure.
The whole game's kind of a red herring.
And it's bullshit.
Pretty much the whole game.
And I didn't even fucking buy it. And that's stupid.
We were really focused on the witch thing because... fucking what's his name, Eyebrows, his sister had like a moon pendant.
You remember the guy from We Are the Millers that big eyebrows? He's the main character in this
Eyebrows.
game.
That's who I played as. I was the only one with one character actually, but it was fine because he's the main character. But anyway, his sister had like this moon pendant that was supposed to be something to do with like witchcraft, and then we found out that her boyfriend had a sun one, which was like the male equivalent, and we were like reading the books and stuff. So we were like really getting into this, like it made sense, the witch trials stuff, and we were like trying to figure it out. And then we were like, maybe they're stuck in a time loop, like they first died in the Salem witch trials and they've just kept dying throughout the years. And there's like this picture that we saw with Eyebrows and one of the other characters where like they're like in military outfits, and they're like, this is another lifetime. So we were like piecing together this story. And then by the end, it was just like, none of it's real. He's crazy. Ha! Gotcha!
Got you, motherfucker.
And I was like, what? Wait, what? And then everybody died. And I was like, wait, what? And then it's just like, GG. Like, it's, I don't know. It just fucking, it sucked. Like, until dawn, everything was real. Like, the Wendigos were really fucking Wendigos. So it was pretty straightforward. But, like, your decisions mattered. Like, if you chose to shoot Ashley, she would kill, I can't remember his name, Chris, I think, or something later, and stuff like that. Like, so it was a little difficult. And then Man of Medan, the way we beat that one was we just pieced together what was really going on. Like, there wasn't actually demons. It was like this gas. Yeah, it was the same thing. Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing with Dark Pictures is like, nothing's as it seems. But with Man of Medan, we figured it out, and everybody lived because of that. And in this one, we figured out something that wasn't actually happening, and everybody died because of some other reason. Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, it's just very unsatisfying.
Yeah, they were just there. Well, so 2 games so far, they've made it where it's like nothing really matters. It's not even actually happening. It's all in your head. Yeah. And then the other thing is they released this game. I consider it, after watching Tio, I consider it to be unfinished because like there should be dialogue constantly. Yeah. And then I felt like some of the characters were stupid. Like Taylor, she was the chick, right? The one with the short hair. Like there was one cutscene.
Oh my god, I just thought of something else.
At the very end, where you're playing Andrew Eyebrows, and he's talking and he's convincing them that the little girl's not evil. And the whole time she's in the background saying like, "What are you doing? It's not her. It's not him. It's her. She's crazy." And then you do another decision. What are you talking about? You're so wrong. And then you finish this thing, and it turns out that you're right. The little girl, like the whole scene plays out, and then he turns to her, and then she's like, "You made the right decision." It's like these characters are like the characters are not real. These characters are just trying to fuck with you. Yeah, there's no real people in this. They're just faking you out until you make the right decision, and then they're like, "Good job."
Pretty much. I mean, we saw through that. Interestingly enough, we had the other guy, like the boyfriend character instead of Taylor. He was like that role.
Yeah.
But another thing that bothered me, and this kind of goes with the game being unfinished, is after we had found out that Taylor died from a hanging in the witch trials, we were still on the timeline, the time loop theory. So we were like, okay, like she's gonna die of hanging, and we found a knife, and we could have gave it to the boyfriend or her. And we were like, give it to her, or I think it was James, or someone said, give it to her so she can cut the rope. And we were like, oh my God, that's fucking genius. That's going to save us. Brilliant. Never came into play. And the worst part is, she had shit around her neck. Like the ghost demon bitch tongue fucked her neck, right? Yeah. And she's just sitting here going like this. And I'm like, oh, we gave her the knife. This is when she's going to cut it. She's going to get out. And like, wow, we win. Nope. Never happened. Multiple times she had this around her neck. The knife never came into play. I don't even know why I was in the game. I honestly don't know why that knife was even there. I was like, what?
This sounds like a terrible game.
It was so disappointing, bro.
The other thing, like, I didn't buy it. And, but watching it, I was entertained because of who I was watching play it. But at the end of the game, when you're in that house, like the final house, the house where they all died, and you pull over one of those things and it takes you into a cutscene, it's a fucking trailer for their newest game.
Yeah.
These people are releasing games that are shit and unfinished whilst working on their newest one and putting a trailer into their game, being like, yeah, buy our next one. Mm-hmm. Like, Jesus Christ, people, your games are not good.
See, like, that was cool. Man of Medan I liked more, so by the end it showed you the cutscene for Little Hope, and I saw eyebrows, and then I was hyped. But this time around, it was like, the setting's interesting. Like, James and Tobias compared it to Descent. And I was like, yeah, that could be cool. But yeah, it just wasn't a satisfying experience enough for, like, that to be worth. I was just, disappointed.
There's a lot of things that just didn't make sense. Like, characters seeing an oogie boogie monster in the mud and then being like...
Mm-hmm. Just looking around.
Yeah, just like, okay, bye. Like, no one fucking cared. I don't understand.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I liked the twist, and I was super, like, what's weird is I really enjoyed the game until the end. And then, like, I just started thinking about it, and I was like, everything just fucking fell apart right there. Like, they just fucked everything. Because it was super cool. Our theory was, like, better than the actual game.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up. Like, if it was just a time loop, and they kept dying over and over, and they had to, like, break the cycle kind of thing, like Mob of the Dead zombies, that would have been sick. So that's what we were on, because, like, that's kind of what the clues suggested in a way, but I don't know, maybe we were weird, but yeah, like, our theory was way cooler. It was a way cooler game. And then at the end, they were like, no, everything's fake. And, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the Salem Witch Trials decision you make, there's a bad ending, but it doesn't matter because it's in his head.
Nothing matters,
like,
yeah, exactly.
It's just disappointing. That's a good summary of it. It's a disappointing game.
How's gaming been for you, Jared?
Still grinding Division.
Yeah, it's been all right.
The multiplication.
Mm-hmm.
Have they released anything new in the Division?
No.
Have you beaten this thing that's supposed to take, like, up to 12 hours?
No, I don't have that kind of time. The Summit, 100-floor skyscraper, I don't have the time for that.
Have you attempted it?
They've changed things about it, so they, like every 14 hours, gear allocations change. So, like, you know, SMGs are dropping here, this set's dropping. It all changes. They changed that so you could join it and click what you're looking for, and then that'll kind of drop for you. But I haven't checked it out. I don't have that fucking time, dude. Like, I just don't have it.
It's a serious grind.
And, like, every 10 floors, you grab this exotic component. Then you got to go kill these, like, 2 hunters, and you put all this shit together, and you got to donate something, and then, like, get this Ridgeway's chest piece. I just don't have the time for that shit. I just don't.
I mean, you picked the wrong game for pick up and play in the Division.
Did I?
Yeah. It's a grinder for sure.
No, like, I'm grinding. That Summit, that little thing they added, I don't like it. I don't care for it.
I'm surprised.
Everything else is fantastic.
I'm surprised they don't have a way for you to, like, get 10 floors and then have a you know, like I'm good here.
Well, they do.
Oh.
But so like your first however many floors are like normal difficulty, then you know hard, and then challenging, and then so the further up you get, when you get to the top, it's the fuck you difficulty. And I just like getting groups together for that fuck you difficulty is pretty tough.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that's where the shit is that I want. But I mean, they do pretty good with, you know, they put out a manhunt once a month that takes some time to do and get done. And I mean, they do good shit there, but like I'm level 1300.
Jesus.
And that's not even the highest, but like you get your watch at 40. So I've leveled up 1300 times, and now it's to the point where I'm just helping friends do the things, you know, throw the old shield on and let them do their thing. And I just sit there and like check the time, and I'm like, you guys done? Because all I'm rocking is a little pistol. It's not like I'm going to do anything. But I just sit there and I reach out from the side of my shield and do this thing, miss like 90% of my shots because it's a fucking pistol.
So you're that guy where it's like, I wonder, this is really hard. Let's see if Jared's online. Let's get him in here for one match, see if we can fucking beat this.
Yeah, sometimes they'll introduce new hunters into the game, and you go and figure out how to find them, kill them, and then, you know, they drop a mask that doesn't have any kind of stats or anything, just it's a decorative piece.
Vanity.
Yeah. And even then, they're like slacking in the design department on those masks. They're fucking stupid looking.
That's Ubisoft, dude.
But you just grab them because you're like, fuck it.
All of Ubisoft's money goes straight into marketing.
Yeah.
Like, so much of their money.
They do good shit. The stuff they add to keep you interested, like with the seasons and things like that. It's good stuff. But that fucking summit thing, that skyscraper they added, I don't like it. Can't stand it.
Don't like it.
Well, you should hop on the Dead by Daylight grind.
Dude, you should. I fucking love that game so much.
We played for like 8 hours last weekend.
Is that a Survivor game?
Yeah, that's the same one we were telling you about last week.
Yeah.
I've made some videos on it.
Survivor, zombies, like, what's
Just 5 survivors versus 1 killer trying to get out.
4.
We've talked about it a few times. Remember Evolve?
Yeah.
Is that just a fucking... That never gonna happen?
That's gone. That was like...
Oh, yeah, that game died, like, on launch.
That was like the launch of Xbox One. So, I mean, we're talking like...
That's too bad.
8 years ago or something.
Well, I figured maybe it was in development because it was shit. But that game was a cool idea.
Yeah.
I thought the idea was really neat.
It was a really cool idea. It looked really fun. But
all I know is I was going to fuck you guys up when I was the monster.
See, so that's what you can do on this game, but you're not a big giant monster. You're just like a serial killer. You could play like Freddy Krueger or Silent Hill, Pyramid Head, or you could be Jason. Well, not Jason, but there's a kind of version of him.
Not in there.
Or you can play fucking what's his face?
Amanda from Saw. You can play Ghostface. You can play Leatherface.
Yeah, Leatherface. He's a fucking piece of shit. You'll win. You're brand new. Play him. You'll win. He's cheap as fuck.
Leatherface?
Yeah, he's an asshole.
The Chainsaw Massacre guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's nuts.
He's got a chainsaw. He's got a chainsaw that you can just chase people down with. Cut them, and they're fucking
insta down.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Maybe I'll check it out.
Ridiculous.
Just watch my videos on it, bro.
Okay.
Nobody does. You might as well be one of them.
Help me make a few pennies.
Like a fraction of a penny for your view.
All right. What else?
I don't know that much else has really happened in the world.
I've been playing Mortal Kombat. Rain came out. It's aight.
Is that your honest review?
Yeah, it's aight.
It's aight.
It's aight.
Okay.
Is I.
It's aight.
Yeah, I don't know that much else really happened that...
Nose goes.
Nah.
You piece of shit.
Fuck
Got him.
Oh, nothing crazy happened in the world to you?
No, not really. Do we have a president yet? Do we know who the guy is yet?
I seriously doubt it.
Huh. Anyway.
I don't fucking know, bro.
I'm more concerned with the tacos I'm going to eat for lunch. Just wondering if there was an update.
Not that I've seen. Tacos. I'm kind of hungry.
I haven't had breakfast yet.
Well,
I mean, I did wake you up like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. I'm hungry.
let's do it so this boy can eat.
Dude, I shit myself this morning.
Great segue, man. Great job.
I was thinking about waking up because I've been waking up early. It's usually 8 or like 9, 9:20ish is like the latest. But I felt like I had been sleeping in because I woke up at 6. For some reason, my body really wants to get up at 6. So I keep waking up at 6. I look at my phone and then I go back to sleep because I'm like, that's too early. And like when you woke me up, I was like, oh my God, it's fucking 11:30. Like I just had that feeling. And I remember, and what was trippy too is when I checked my phone and it was 6 this morning, I like dreamed. I was like in that like half awake, half conscious, half subconscious state. And I like awake dreamed that I checked my phone and it was like 10. And like then I think I like fell back asleep or something, and I was like, what? There's no way, it's still dark. And I looked at my phone and it was 6, and that fucked me up. So then I woke up and I thought it was 11:30, but it was 9, and that fucked me up. Like, it's been a trip. It's been a serious trip this morning.
Nice.
What a hell of a morning for you. Huh?
Yeah. Because I was pissed, dude. I got up when you came in and I was like, oh fuck. I looked at my phone and I was like, oh shit, okay. We good.
Well, I mean, I guess I could have. Zach said he couldn't make it this week because he's got, I don't know, pussitis or something. And then Jared said he was coming, and then you were like, me too. So this morning I was just like, I guess I'll just 9 o'clock, everybody will roll in. So I went and woke you up, and then I just like, and then you were like, is Jared here? And I was like, no, I assume he's going to be here. And I was like, I guess I should call him to find out. Like, no confirmation had been sent anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually good you woke me up. I was in danger of sleeping in more, which I would not have liked. But I've been waking up pretty consistently. I set an alarm for 9:20 too, just in case. That's another thing that was weird because I was like, my alarm didn't go off. Did I miss it? It's like, no, it's earlier.
Mine went off this morning, but for some reason I had the volume all the way up. Mm-hmm. So when it went off at 2 a.m., it went the fuck off. Like, scared the fucking dog shit out of me. Yeah. I reached over, like, the phone, it was on here. But we've got one of those Alexas where it lights up with the clock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was fucking grabbing it and, like, fucking banging on it, but it wouldn't stop. But it was my phone on the other side. Oh. It's like, oh my God. Where's it coming from? It was terrible. I don't even know why the volume was up like that.
I think I always have my volume up all the way.
I do too. I can't wake up if I have it too low. I'll just incorporate it into my dream. I also have to change alarms once a month. Otherwise, it just becomes a part of my dream in some weird way.
Inception style.
Yeah, like my brain convinces me that it's not happening in real life, and I'm immersed. It's weird.
Before I had an iPhone, my alarms used to be dirty as fuck. Like, just the worst things you could imagine to wake up to.
Mine have to be down low and very delicate, very subtle.
See, that won't do it for me, bro.
I don't wake up well to loud alarm clocks. They're like,
yeah.
I wake up all pissed off.
Mine used to be that, but it would turn into dubstep. So it would be like, bang, bang,
some
bang,
fucking Skrillex.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah. It was like Excision type fucking dubstep, so it was loud and fucking
hard bass.
awful.
I gotta wake up delicately. That sets the tone for the day for me.
That's why, I mean, I like waking up myself, but I have that alarm just in case.
My funniest story with my alarm. So I've got those lights, right? And, you know, weekdays and on weekends at a certain time, they just come on. Because I'd much rather, like, my lights will come on before my alarm goes off. So that my lights come on and I'm like, fuck. And I just kind of lay there with pretending the lights aren't on, and then the alarm goes off and I get up. And then weekends, they'll come on like 8-ish, but I'm normally awake by then. My best story with an alarm and the lights was I had a girl over. And we ended up staying the night here, right?
Right.
And it was a weeknight. I felt so bad. It was a weeknight, you know, went to bed fucking late, like 1 a.m. And I had to go to work the next day, and fucking 6 in the morning, boom, lights are on, and then fucking wham, wham, wham. I felt so bad. I was like rolling over trying to fucking find my phone, like where the fuck did I leave it? I had to hurry and turn it off. The lights were on, like, you know, this bright, like not dull, not like, oh, good morning, sunshine, is like this. So like the light comes on, you're fucking up. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. It's so loud and so bright.
The Excision bass drop hits before you can actually get to it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, she's never coming back.
I was like, yeah, that's. And then I had to address it. I was like, yeah, I wake up. I have to have everything wake me up really loud, otherwise I don't get up. I felt bad, but it was pretty fucking funny. Thinking about it now is funny. At the time, I was like, God damn it. It was good times.
I just did that light thing too. That actually helps a lot. Just have your lights fade in.
Yeah, my dad used to do that when I was at his house on the weeknights or whatever. He would just come in and like flick the light on and then leave, you know, like 15 minutes before I got to get up. And then it's nice. Like when I lived in that room up there, you know, the sun comes up and you're not sleeping through it. So you're just like, as the sun comes up, you're just kind of naturally like, oh, I guess it's time to get up. It's nice. It's much better than waking up to an alarm because you feel like you're actually kind of doing it yourself. Like the lights are on, you know, sun's up, time to get up.
You kind of naturally wake up.
Yeah.
It helps a lot in winter when the sun's not even fucking up yet. So you just, I don't know.
Which is the worst.
Yeah.
Like it's, winter. You know, it's just completely dark outside. It's just awful.
It's the worst season by a lot. Dark. It's like pitch black by like 5.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Darkness.
No parents.
No, have anything else?
I did my best to get a little more content.
Yeah.
I gotta pee.
We should definitely talk longer then, just to make you suffer.
Yep.
I'll move him right out the way.
Just flip the fucking table.
Nah, just push him over and go do my thing.
Well, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, death threats, or ransom notes, remember to send them to imwiththeoutcrowd@gmail.com. We're on Twitter, Instagram. Check out our Discord. Is there another one? Find us on Patreon. Support us. YouTube. Likes and subscribe. Check out our store. Etsy. I really lost track of where I was in the outro. Just remember, our opinions don't matter, so neither do yours.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How dare you? How dare you stand where he stood?
Ah!
Oh, I'm hungry.
Did you let another one out? God, let's get out of here quick. Evacuate! Someone sound the alarm!
Run.
I've got a urine so bad my balls hurt. So give me this second before the hugs.
I think the NBA is kind of on a downward slide.
Well, they're going to be starting back up here pretty soon.
And I give 0 fucks to start watching.
I mean, I do too, but I don't care, man.
Meow.
down yet. We need that light.
Okay, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Man, get your home, shit.
Oh, the hero.
What the fuck did you eat, bro?
2 for $4 sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin from McDonald's. Is it still lingering?
Fuck yeah, dude. Hit me like a fucking Mack truck when I walked in.